Let's see it.
Welcome back to my premium podcast experience and friends, hosted by Splash Jordan. This episode is sponsored by Uber. Ready anytime, anywhere. Just tap the app and get a ride. Uber is available in over 400 cities worldwide, including your own. It's very convenient, super chill, and way cheaper than a DWI. Next time you go out, you have as much fun as you want, then you use Uber to get you back home safe. When you use my promo code SPLASHJ5UE, the first ride is on me. Now how about that? Today's special guest is a blogger, content creator, and personality. I'm talking about Marisa Mendez of lifeistremendez.com. She was unable to be present in the studio because she's too busy contributing to Ebro in the Morning and Flex We Trust, and I'll name this podcast later. But I was able to get her on the phone and chop it up for a bit. So, let's get to it. Hello?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Can you hear me pretty good?
Yep, I can hear you fine.
All right, great. Nice. Thank you so much for doing this.
No problem.
I noticed, understandably, that you were super cautious about responding, or even just now we tried to FaceTime me and it was all black. But I just think it's funny. I thought it was funny, but I mean, I understand why you're doing it. I could be some creep or something like that.
Well, I just had it off because I just didn't feel like having my makeup on and stuff. But yeah.
So how are you?
I'm great. I am about taking a nap after this. So I'm pretty excited. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's weird even talking to you because listening to you, I have this sense of familiarity. Like I think I just butchered that word, but it's like it's weird because it's like, I know you, but I don't know you at all.
Right. Yeah, people say that a lot. I think just because I'm so open and honest about everything.
I mean, as I told you, I'm like a legacy fan. I just really like that chemistry. I just like your personality and what you bring to it. I don't know if I had mentioned this in that email I sent you, but that podcast was the inspiration for me to kind of do my own thing. So I'm always...
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, like when I say I'm like a fan, I am like a super fan. So...
Oh, dope. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So I really respect your position and what you do. I take notice. And this is an industry like I'm new to. It's just weird when I feel like, people are genuine and, they're approachable and they actually, want to vibe and meet up and talk and do things.
Yeah, that's definitely been, kind of my mission the whole time is just, I've always kind of wanted to be in the spotlight. I grew up, I'm a Leo, so I've always, liked the attention and liked all that stuff. And so, when it was finally my time to step in front of the cameras as opposed to, in front of the mic as opposed to just being behind the scenes, I always said, if I ever do, God willing, get my dream, like I want to be that person that people feel like they can talk to and can approach on the street and can relate to. And that's why I share so much, because I want other people to be able to relate to the stuff that I go through. And it's really just comes from, when I was a kid, and I still am, like I've always just been a fan of celebrities. I enjoy meeting them and, following their careers and stuff like that. And it's shitty when you meet somebody and they're just a sucky person and they just act so holier than thou. Right. And you just like, so I never want, not that I'm a celebrity by any means, but, just being a little more in the spotlight. I just always want to make sure like I'm not that person ever.
I mean, which is very rare. It's very rare. I am noticing, though, some people are pretty receptive. I think it's because the whole podcast thing is like something that has some credibility now. So when you tell a person, you're on a podcast, it's like now people actually know what that is, and they probably have they have their own they listen to, and it's just like, okay, well, cool, yeah, I'll check this out. When I woke up this morning, I realized I was going to talk to you, and today was the day Views came out. When I listened to Beats One last night, I didn't hear any premiere, but when I woke up this morning, it was definitely on my Apple Music. So I've been listening to it like all day, like trying to digest it, see if I like it or not. It was good. Have you listened to it?
I've listened to about 5 songs so far, just because last night it was late, so I was just listening to the interview, which was more important for me for work purposes. And then I just kind of streamed the album on the way to work today. So I only got a few songs in, but I like it so far. It's very Drakey. So
It is very Drakey. I just thought like with the route he was going, like there was like Trapper Drake, and then there was like all this like hard hitting like boom bap music.
yeah.
I was expecting like this lyrical onslaught to come on and just him just really deliver like some hip hop rap songs, which there are some on there, which I enjoy,
hmm
which I really enjoy actually. But it's a lot of Drake, and I was just like, wow,
Yeah, I mean, the only ones I heard so far are like the singy songy Drake, so it's cool for what it is thus far, but I gotta really digest it. I don't like how there's so many people writing reviews on it and really formulating like full opinions about the body of work that it's 20 songs and it's been out 12 hours. Like,
right.
you cannot digest that much music in that short a period of time, even if you listen to it like two or three times, like you still haven't completely gotten the full scope of it.
Right, right. There's a lot of, like you got to go back and make sure you catch all the sneak dissing.
Exactly.
You got to catch.
Like on Western Road Flows or Western Road Flows, I definitely caught that he was getting at Ross and Tory Lanez on that one. That was one of the songs I heard this morning.
I thought that he had been getting at Ross for a while though.
Yeah.
Like Grown Man Liars story, something about storytellers. They don't even need a campfire. I always thought that he was talking to Ross.
Oh, maybe he really was. And I mean, it would make sense considering, I guess the Meek Mill stuff. And even prior to that, maybe there was some tension, but he definitely fired a shot with sorry. Oh, no. Sorry. I just, I wake up super early from the morning show. So I always start crashing around this time, but I'm okay. But yeah, no, he definitely was getting at Ross via Lyra Galore in that lyric.
The same Martin. She violated, I sent her back where it all started. How quick they are to forget about their bachelor apartment. Leave it to niggas like you to show them light in the darkness.
Yeah. He definitely was. It was still cool though. I mean, I'm still gonna listen to it. I actually there was a period of time where my phone situation was pretty shitty. So I've just gotten back to an iPhone and just discovered like Apple Music. So I just listen to everything all day.
Isn't Apple Music awesome? Like, I think it's just such a dope service.
It's super, super dope. I love it. Like, just nonstop what I want to hear shit all day long. Like,
and it's cool too how I can with Siri, even if I don't have the song in my iPod, I can just press the button and say, Siri, play Mike Posner, Took a Pill in Ibiza, and it'll just play it from Apple Music. So it's really cool.
Like, another thing I wanted to ask you was, when I see you like on Ebro, like on the morning show, you've got more of like a serious position. And so how do you like go from like being more serious with them to kind of just being like more ridiculous with like Joe and Rory?
Well, with Joe and Rory, I mean, that's really just three friends, myself and them two, that just kind of come together to have a show every week. So, it's not, I mean, in a sense, it is work because it has become something big, but in the other sense, it's really just, three of us bullshitting and having fun. So it's not really a job as much as it is, just something that we like to do. And if we ever want to stop, we could just stop. So it's kind of like, going to work and then going to hang out with your friends, when to turn it on and off. And even at work, I mean, if you're referring to like seeing me on like the YouTube videos and stuff, I'm quiet only because, it's certain segments that we're filming that if I don't have a mic, I'm not going to talk. But it's a similar environment up there too. Like, we're super playful and it's fun and everyone knows my personality, and that's the reason why they invited me to be up there in the mornings. I run Ebro's website, blameebro.com, myself and my girlfriend Gia Peppers. So to do that, I don't necessarily have to be in the studio, and it was actually separate. They asked me first to just start coming up just because they like my personality and that I'm just silly and I just kind of blurt out random things and I'm very open about my life and things like that. So they had me in studio for that reason and that reason alone, and just to kind of add commentary, spark conversation, help with topics and things like that. So it's still a very fun environment. It's just, you know how to act at work and then you know how to act with your friends. So I turn it on and off when I need to.
Now, when you say that they knew your personality, like where did they know your personality from? Like how were you introduced to these people, to this crowd?
Well, I've been working at Hot 97 since 2009. I came in under Flex. I was an intern on his show for the spring and summer semesters of the 2009 school year, 2008, 2009. And then I graduated. And so, along with that, like, the internship was no longer available to me. So I left for a year. And when I came back to visit a year later, Flex was like, oh, I'm starting a blog. Why don't you come work with me? I'm like, all right, cool. So for 2010, 2011, 2012, I came in at nighttime and I worked with Flex. So when you're in the building at Hot 97 at night, it's 7 p.m. Everyone's already gone for the day. All the corporate people or the morning show people. Angie's gone. Like, there's no one there but just, Flex's team. So I didn't really get to meet too many people, but working with the brand for that long, people are going to know who you are, and with Flex's site being the first of its kind at Hot 97 as far as like a successful blog, hot97.com wasn't popping yet, and none of the other personalities had really big websites. So Flex was the first one to do it, and I was really the main blogger for a long time, like not the only one there was, but the only real entertainment one.
Okay.
So, obviously people were very familiar with, okay, that's Flex's person. Like, she's helping run the site. Like, she's really good. So people knew my name. And, if we'd run into each other at random events, they would know my face a little bit. But we didn't really have a rapport other than that. In 2013, Flex told me just work from home, because they were just making some changes to the station, and I was never really a Hot 97 employee, you know what I mean? I was a Funk Flex employee.
Right.
So I just, from 2013, I was really far removed from everybody, and in 2014, he called me and was like, hey, can you come start Angie's site for her? She needs help. Like, the way you launched mine and you did it so well, like, can you help with Angie? And I was still doing his too. I still do his to this day. But he's like, can you just come in now with the afternoons? And so I came in, there's a lot more people around during the day, so I got to know Angie a little bit, a lot of it, and that was a great experience. And then Rosenberg would be like floating around sometimes, and Seif, and so again we'd have like small combos. We wouldn't really get to know each other too well, but it was actually a trip to LA in the spring of 2014 that I went with Drewski, and we all got a big ass house. It was like me, Drewski, Seif, Juanito, a bunch of people at the station, and so Seif and I got to build, and through that he kind of like had me hanging out with Rosenberg too. So they all got way more familiar with me from that trip.
Okay.
Kind of went on from there. Obviously, then Seif replaced Angie when she left, so Seif and I built more there too. And again, that just came with Rosenberg, and we would just see each other around more. And then Ebro, he and I would talk more often as he was kind of building his brand as a morning show person at that point, and was like, he would tell me randomly when he'd see me, like, hey, Mendez, I want to start a site one day, like, let's talk one of these days. And he said that for like 2 years until we finally did it, or like a year. So at the end of 2014, I ran into Rosenberg at an event. I was telling him this horrible story of how I had just gone to see my little boo, and how he actually had a girlfriend that I didn't know about, and he ended up
that's actually a terrible story. I'm sorry for laughing.
Yeah, no, it was funny though. It wasn't like I was like in love with the guy. It was just a guy I had been dealing with, and I go hang out with him for the weekend. Little did I know he had his girlfriend hanging out with us too, and like, she didn't know about me, I didn't know about her, and he was such a like, he finessed it so well that he had us all in one picture together, me and her chatting it up. Like, it was crazy. And I didn't find out until after that whole weekend. So there was no drama or anything. Like, her and I didn't get into it. And I don't feel like we should have, because obviously neither one of us knew, or we weren't doing anything wrong. So, I found out in the aftermath. So I'm like cracking up. I'm like, yo, like, it sucks, but it's hilarious. Like, what a G he is. And Rosenberg was like, yo, you are so funny. Like, you're just so open. And like, you gave no fucks about that story. I'm like, yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? It happened. So whatever. I'm not going to cry about it.
Right.
And he was like, wow, it would be great if you started coming up in the mornings and, kind of brought that energy to the show. So he talked to Ebro about it a little bit. And Ebro was hesitant. He's like, let's, hold off a little bit and, develop our show a little more. And so I was like, well, fuck this. I want to be like, I want to be on the show. So let me start being in their face. So instead of coming in at 3 p.m. every day for my show with Seif or whatever, I was like, I'm going to start coming in every day at 9 a.m. and just kind of run into the morning show crew every day and just smile and talk and be nice and just, be in their face and remind them like that they should have me. So, I mean, not physically say it, but just so they could think of me every day.
Right.
And after doing that for like a month, they were like, Ebro was like, yo, you should start coming up in the mornings. I'm like, boom. And that was it.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's definitely a ninja tip, right
Yeah.
there. Definitely. Got to get out there. Have you ever been to Charlotte?
Charlotte, North Carolina?
Yeah.
Have I? I don't believe so. Yeah, no, probably just for layovers. But my mom goes out there fairly often because her company has their main